Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the semifinals of the Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer Challenge Cup. Our competitors today are Japezu and RaikouRider. Hi, everyone. I'm LOZ Cards Fan 23, and joining me on the commentary this afternoon, DLP 316. Well, these two competitors here in the Challenge Cup, Japezu and RaikouRider, are undefeated, but something's going to have to give.
Yep, Raikou has been a part of this tournament since the very first one. He's definitely a veteran of the game. Japezu is on the newer side. However, he has shown really good skills. He's able to pull off several P-Speed strats that I've seen. So definitely got a good race on our hands.
Yeah, definitely. Japezu's, I think, someone who to watch out for in perhaps next year's main tournament. I mean, these two players are in the semifinals of the Challenge Cup for a reason. You know, they have showed it so far in the tournament. They are both undefeated, but only one of these two will advance to the championship. The loser will go into the bronze medal match.
Yep, and I believe they will... on the other side, it's Sharkhead versus Craig, SMB3, correct?
Yep, correct.
So definitely got some good Challenge Cup matches coming up. Both of these racers could have easily made it to the bracket, so definitely going to be a good race.
Yeah, most definitely. So these are, by the way, going to be the bracket stage tournament flags. So that means there's no end card game. There are also hammers do not break locks either. And we are starting with the Hammer Brothers party mix, and it's nothing but Boomerang Bros to start. But Raikou, a little bit of troubles early on. Nice job there by Japezu. And gonna get that mushroom. Should be able to clear this level.
Yep.
Japezu just got bro tumbled by that sledgehammer bro to lose that power, but will pick up a star.
Yep, the mushroom makes it nice. It gives you a little leeway. When you get a lot of fire bros there, it's just not great. And then we come up to 7-9, so a couple of kind of difficult stages to start here with an Angry Sun.
Yep, and Raikou does not get bro tumbled by the sledgehammer bro, is able to keep that power up, but it's better than having, you know, boss bass. But yeah, Angry Stun is still annoying, but we do have these Koopa shells to help these runners out. But ooh, Japezu getting Paragoomba here, so that's going to give Raikou the lead back.
Yep, Raikou making the good play here to get rid of that Paragoomba right away. They can cause sprite limit here, so you can't even pick up one of the blocks to get by. Really kind of a frustrating area to see that enemy.
And here goes that Angry Sun into effect. Raikou going to want to try to take it down if possible. But there seems to be no Koopas in sight, but does pick up an all-important star. Should be able to finish it up. No problem at all. There he is. Nice clip there by Japezu.
Yeah, definitely. That's kind of a tricky clip to pull off. If you duck too late, you'll slide right through because of that space in the piping. But it does save like at least 5 seconds. So
yeah, so Japezu made up some time after that early death, and Raikou now in 5-2, as is Japezu. Raikou does not fall into the sewer of shame. Let's see if Japezu can get by, and looks like he does. A lot of Paragoombas here in this top section of 5-2, struggling a little bit with that jump near the bonus pipe. So a couple of bonks here and there could enable Japezu to gain some time, and in fact he does. These two runners pretty much neck and neck.
Absolutely. They did exactly what you want to do in that level and just not fall down. That's it's really the main takeaway from that level.
Raikou was pressing his luck with those iframes there, but does manage to get by and picks up a hammer. Meanwhile, Japezu used a star, gets a leaf. They both get a hammer, and let's see if they decide to use it. It looks like Raikou is going to use it right here, and, well, the fort's going to have to be played anyways, and it's 5F2.
Yeah, a little early here. It's bracket, so it's only going to break locks, so the hammer's only useful in...
You meant boulders.
Yeah, boulders. 2, 3, 4, and 6, so you can't fault a play. You use it when you got it. It's going to save one level, so as long as you're a nice sink here.
Yeah, very nice sink here. Japezu taking an ever so slight lead into the boom boom fight, and down they go on both sides. So again, we are literally neck and neck after the lava fort.
Yeah, I probably, well, it's hard to say. I might have held on to that hammer.
Interesting. Neither player opting to play the Hammer Brothers stage to see if there might have been some kind of item that could help them out. So again, we're pretty much even, which is what you like to see in a race situation like this. They both pick up the Fire Flower. This is the World 3 airship.
For sure. No item advantage either way, so it's going to stay pretty close because of that. The double hammer has seemed to be much more useful lately in these later stage matches for whatever reason. So, you know, it's 50-50 on whether or not the hammer use, you save a level when you can save a level. So I can't really fault him for that.
We'll see if another hammer comes up for these runners here. Meanwhile, Morton on the very low sodium diet. He was just a one hitter there, so no problem for either runner here. What is the next world going to be, ladies and gentlemen?
World 5.
7. And hey, we get a music box from the princess. Could come in handy here in World 7. Man, as if it wasn't bad enough that the mushroom house on the island all by itself doesn't get any business, it's guarded by a lock too.
Right. Yeah, Japezu making the smart move here, I think. Going back and playing the fort while it's there.
And it could be the right move because we need to break a lock at the Promised Lands in order to get by. So if Japezu says that the lock at the Toad House does not break, then he's on the right track. Same thing with Raikou. If not, we're going to have to find the path to that other fort. Raikou having a little bit of trouble here with super tanks at the end, and we're going to take a look here. And that did break the lock, so that was the correct answer for both of these runners.
Nice. Let's see how easy it is to get back. It looks like they're going to have to at least take one of the pipes on the first island.
And the thing is, Raikou knows the path. Japezu does not at the moment, so that's going to give RaikouRider the lead back. And not going to use the music box, is going to opt to play the Piranha level, instead using the star to make quick work out of this and not have to worry about anything. Japezu, though, did decide to use the music box. He will take the lead, and it was probably a good idea because all that was there was a star.
Yeah, if you're going to save the music box and play the level, you're hoping for something a little better, but in brackets where, you know, the items are a lot less, the star can come in pretty handy in a pinch.
Ooh, and at least a four-hitter it was for Ludwig von Koopa, so he had a pretty nice symphony there, but Japezu going to be moving on to the third world. Now Raikou won't be able to get the fire kill, has the tail, and got hitboxed. There's 3 and 4. There it is. Raikou takes down Ludwig von Koopa, so he'll be moving on to the third world as well. All right. What world is going to be next, DLP?
Say World 3 in its vanilla location.
2, 3. Yeah, that sounds good. But it's time for 5.
Interesting setup here. There's one pipe and a blue fort, so this fort on this first part is going to build the bridge, and then if that pipe is the paradox pipe, then, you know, you might want to take a death just to see what's going on up top to see if you need to play that fort or not. Exactly.
Now, we do see a lock as well. That doesn't necessarily mean that there's not going to be a third fort. Japezu, this is the 1/6 beta. Raikou in a little bit of trouble here. Oh boy, he makes that jump. And he's going to play it. It's Fort Knox. 7F1, and he's going to take that 100 coin fine. Meanwhile, Raikou trying to finish this up here. Oh boy, he's doing some nice dodging. He does get by the 1/6 beta. No, Japezu's not going to take the 100 coin fine. Interesting.
Yeah, I thought he had a...
Yeah, maybe he doesn't have any power-ups that would help him out.
Right.
And Raikou's going to play the same 7F1 as well, or he might take that 100 coin fine. Let's see what he decides to do. And nope, he's going to play it out too. I'm thinking these runners don't have a power-up that's going to help them.
Right. Yeah, I've seen a couple stars in music boxes, so I wouldn't be surprised.
And hammers, yeah, nothing that's going to, you know, be power-ups to help them get through this level any quicker. So both of these runners have to play it the long, traditional way. And Japezu does get into the pipe first try, which is what you want to see. Now the boom boom fight coming up. There's 1, 2. Do we get any swag? No. Always got to go for the statue kill, you know.
Oh, yeah. This is a little bit longer of a route, but at least given that they don't have any power-ups, it will give them, you know, 3 hits worth.
And yep, and that is not Paradox Pipe, so now we can absolutely take a look. And there is a third fort.
Yep, so in this case, the blue fort doesn't necessarily break the blue lock. I've seen several times that not be the case.
Isn't it usually like that? Isn't it usually like that if there's 3 forts, but if there's 2 forts, it's always the blue fort breaks the blue lock, or is that not always the case, DLP?
As far as I've seen, I think Pro A said that he saw one time blue not break blue lock when there was 2, but I can't remember if he confirmed that for sure. But as far as my experience goes, that's always the case.
And in this case, it does break the blue lock.
Yeah. In my experience, when there's been...
Oh, and Raikou went for the World 8 fort, so unfortunately for Raikou, he chose incorrectly. Oh, and doesn't get the 1 cycle either.
Yep, I can't really fault him.
No, it's a coin flip. I mean, it's just unfortunately for Raikou, ended up losing it. Japezu ended up winning it. So here's 2-3. There's our friend Boss Bass. I was just about to ask, where the heck is Boss Bass here in 2-3? There he is.
In this level, if I have a tail and the enemy set is threatening in any way possible, even if not, I tend to go for that P-switch up top. I haven't timed it out, but I don't feel like it loses any time if not. So it's just it's a little bit safer, but not quite as swaggy.
And DW Edit makes a good point, DLP. The choice makes sense for Raikou, considering that the fort's just right there, and just so happens to be that's not the right fort. Just bad luck.
Right.
But does pick up a Jugum Cloud, and uh-oh, could use it here on 7-8. A very nasty beginning, and usually 9 times out of 10, 7-8 is accompanied by our friend Boss Bass. Do we see him here?
Yeah, 7-8's one of those levels that I'll cloud if I don't...
No, but it is our traditional enemy set that's in 7-8.
Yeah. Yeah, if I have power-ups to get through the first part, it's generally not too bad of a level once you get to the power-up, but it's still pretty nasty level, so...
Yeah, absolutely. One of the nastiest levels in the game, at least in my opinion. It's right up there with 6-6 and 8-1.
Mm-hmm.
So at this juncture, RaikouRider is a full 2 levels behind Japezu here, as we have the World 6 airship.
Oh.
Oh, Raikou getting swallowed up by Boss Bass. So if you're on Team Boss Bass, score yourself a point. Oh, and Raikou getting hitboxed by that Boomerang Bro. And here is the Roid, has the Earthquake. 2. 3 is not enough. 4 it is. A 4-hit Roy with the Earthquake.
Raikou might be just a little bit on tilt after the Boss Bass gulp. I know he has said in the past that this game tends to tilt him a little bit more easily than some other games, so hopefully he can get through this and make up some ground.
Patience will be the key here for Raikou to get past here, but has to watch out for Boss Bass to reappear. Nice job there by Raikou. Gets past 2-3. Let's see what the next world is going to be, and let's see what we get from the princess. Not too quick. Didn't see it. This fort is required because we have a lock in the way, and already this seed's invalidated. Why is 3F2 here? It's supposed to be in World 8.
Right.
Now, Raikou, unfortunately, running into that Piranha Plant. Does he use the Jugum Cloud here? He is going to use the Jugum Cloud here. I kind of can't fault him. I don't like 7-8. Yep. I like it.
He's not going for the flyover, though, unfortunately. That saves probably like 7 seconds or so if you have a tail. Maybe
Yeah,
even more.
he might have tried for, but just didn't get up to P speed. You know, sometimes you go across gaps, you lose some of that speed. You would think you wouldn't lose any speed going across gaps like that, but you'd be surprised. I mean, especially in 1-6.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, the classic 1-1 with a nasty cheap cheap.
This level surprisingly can be pretty nasty in Randomizer as we...
more often than not, DLP it is. It's usually boss bass. It might be that cheap, but yeah. What looks to be the simplest level in the game, in the Randomizer, Fred decided to make it a lot more evil.
Mm-hmm. Don't see any pipes yet on this World 6 layout besides the one that you have to break a boulder, so... be interesting to see what the rest of the layout looks like.
And again, I didn't see what the item was for Princess Peach. Just went too quick.
Yep.
All right, we've got now 5-6 with the Parabeetles, the only level in the vanilla game that has them. There's also a beta level that has these Parabeetles as well, which is why I like to call it 5-6 beta.
Yep, Japezu making short work of it with that tail. If you don't pause in the beginning, it's like a 1-frame window to make that first jump, and with the tail you can clear it easily, so saving a little bit of time there as well.
I lost the tail, but picks up another tail in the process, and a music box.
Power-ups not really being on the friendly side this seed.
No, they aren't. Because again, we have no end card game for these runners to help them out, get some additional items here. The pipe. Well, there's a second panel 10 and a third panel 10, so that means there are no other forts in this World 6.
Yep. And another star.
A lot of stars.
Yeah.
And Japezu gonna make quick work of that star. I want to see that trick. Nope, use a star. How about get a P-wing? There's something that could help these runners out. Raikou now in 4-1 with another nasty nipper enemy set. And now Japezu gonna try to be all he can be in the army.
Yeah, in this situation, Hammer, if I'm looking at the map correctly, looks like it's pretty favorable, so I would definitely play the bros here in hopes of getting one, and it looks like he's going to get an even extra bonus chance here in the tanks level.
And Raikou getting the fireworks there, the triple star to get 5 extra lives. And there's a lead for Japezu. I don't think that's a bad idea for RaikouRider, considering he was only down to 1 extra life.
Yeah, for sure. Especially with the items that they seem to be getting.
Which is almost nothing, although this World 6 has been a little bit generous. Now Raikou at the army.
Nice piece beat by Japezu to get through that level.
Yep, 3-4 done for Japezu. Raikou, ooh, nice tail swipe, but then gets picked off by the cannonball. So now we have 7-7, which is one of the levels that you can do a very difficult clip in, but you have to be small, I believe, to do it.
You can do it big or small in the beginning there.
Alrighty then. Unfortunately, Raikou getting that parade of Hammer Bros just moving all over the place, and Japezu, very nicely done, gets by 7-7. Very quick, very good.
Yep, got the 2 cycle, so it's about as fast as you can do that level without clipping.
Raikou, though, having some problems here in 3-4, but will find a mushroom. And now Japezu on to the airship. This is the World 7 airship. Make sure you don't fall because it's a long way down.
Yep, this is one of the worst airships that you can take a late death on just because of how long it is. I almost feel like the way Raikou's playing, he feels like he's a little behind because of having to play 8 fort. I mean, that's a pretty long fort to play and not have it benefit you.
Raiko now in a little bit of trouble here. Now small, and oh, it was just a shrimp Lemmy. You love to see it. A one-hitter, down it goes.
I've said this for a while. It seems like Lemmy is either 1 or 5 hits every single time.
I agree. You don't see him in between. He's usually the full package, or he's just a shrimp.
So we've got worlds, what, 1, 3,
4,
and 4 left?
Yep.
All right.
1.
So, yep, let's see level 1.
Let's take a look. It's a Tanuki suit, and there it is, World 1. Let's take a look at the layout. 2 forts. One of them is required. Which one?
Yep, so Raikou here might be able to pick up some time if he picks the right fort. If it were me and if I felt behind, I might just go and play the bottom right fort because I feel like instinct just tells you to play the one immediately to your right. So if I'm feeling behind, I might take that gamble.
Well, we'll see how this plays out. Just got through 2-1, now it's 3-2. And Raiko gets by the easy Lemmy Koopa, the one-hitter. And Japezu going for quick strats here with that star. It's about to expire. Oh, I don't think he was hoping he would get a bounce, and now he's falling off the platform. He's in trouble. And that's a nasty death there for Japezu there. And this could give Raiko a chance to catch up.
Yep, he's letting Raikou back in it. A star there is actually something I don't usually want to see because you can't bounce off the cheaps and it just sort of throws your rhythm off a little bit. But
yep, now with the tail, he's going to take full advantage of not having a star. That's a textbook 3-2 right there. Very well done. So with that, Raiko is now less than 2 levels back. So now
we haven't seen 1 fort yet, so if we see that, we know that's not required.
Yeah, they'll take the intention. But Japezu's going to go bottom fort, and it's the World 2 fort, so maybe this is it.
Well,
but Japezu in some trouble here in the spike fort, and we're not even at the spikes yet. All right, 3-2 coming up now for Raiko, and does find a mushroom behind that block. Raiko sees the star, won't get to it, but that actually might be a blessing in disguise.
Yep, picks up a leaf, so this is a much better power
Beautiful.
Here.
He's gonna do it again. Oh, nice save there by Raiko.
Absolutely, you do not want to be at that end part with no platform. It's scary with the respawning cheaps.
And we have the little kiddo cheap rooting the players on at the end of 3-2. That's the correct fort.
Yep, there it is.
And Raiko also going to pick the bottom one, so we're still level pegging.
Wow. What a play by both the runners, honestly.
I know. You kind of alluded to that there, DLP, that if you felt behind to pick the bottom one, and I'm thinking Japezu must feel he's behind too, so did the same strat. You love to see it.
Yeah, Japezu hasn't played many extra levels, but I think he has taken a couple more costly deaths than Raikou, so I'm sure they both just have no idea where they're at and where their opponent is.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, Kirby Fan says that the top fort's probably World 1 fort. If I were to take a gamble, I'd probably say the same thing. It's probably World 1 fort.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the updated randomizer, but I'm tending to see more forts that aren't paired together and 1 fort in like a lot of different places I never used to see it at.
Yeah. Oh, and Japezu is a boss fast meal here in 7-2. Now, does he have a Jugum Cloud left? No, he's used it up as well, so that was unintentional. Or maybe it was intentional, he wanted a tail. Raiko, meanwhile, having some problems here with 5-8. It's quick, but deceptively difficult.
Japezu avoids taking damage there by using the statue. Raikou's going to save some time if he uses the leaf right off the bat, and he does.
He uses the Tanuki, so yep, good call. And Japezu is done with 7-2, so Raiko has cut the lead to less than a level now, DLP.
Fun thing about World 1 levels that I never knew until brackets of this tournament, every level that there's a piranha plant, it will only shoot one fireball because it's in World 1. So
Yep, and it doesn't matter what level shows up, they're only going to fire it once. Any other level, they'll fire twice.
yep, it's nice to see Piranha Fort. Well, I mean, if you have to see it in World 1, just because of that.
Right. Okay, Japezu does get by Larry Cheatsy Koopa, and we'll be moving on to either World 3 or World 4. What do you think, audience?
World 4. Big Island.
Yeah, because
Favorite world as a kid.
we're gonna save the Baconator Wendy's for last. I think you're right. Let's take a look. No, there's Wendy right now.
Double hammer doesn't look like it would really help that much here.
No, and they don't even have hammers anyways, so...
Right.
All right, 6-1. Larry goes down for Raiko, and once again, get your commands out. That's the second world that Raiko has completed with the Tanuki suit.
All right, let's see where this pipe goes.
All right, there's 2 forts, and I see 2 locks, and we're now in the Navy. Yes, you can sail the 7 seas.
We all know it's going to be that. It's going to be that pipe right there on the first screen
with the lock. Yep.
Yep.
See, if there's always a lock guarding World 3, whether it's at Wendy's or whether it's the pipe that takes us to Wendy's, it doesn't fail. You always got to play at least 1 fort. Raiko gets by 6-1. Japezu gets through the Navy. However, that did not clear the lock that he was probably hoping for, but we'll see. Maybe it is, though. You never know.
Right.
So here's the 5-6 beta, and there's those parabeetles I was alluding to.
He's going to know exactly what to do after this because that broke the lock. So if these pipes loop, then we know it's going to be that first pipe and actually turn into kind of a long World 3.
World 3s are never free. Come on, let's be honest. Unless you have hammers that are breaking locks, they're never free. And now Japezu is about to find out if this is the way out. Yes!
Oh, wow. Very nice. He's got a tail, too, so he can float over the, well...
Not anymore.
Speed now.
So a little bit of problems here at the opening of the World 4 airship. Again, we've got the right one. Now the 5-6 beta for Raiko. There's a star, which could help him get a couple of hits. And there's 2. Oh, just the frosty for Wendy this time. So I don't think these runners are going to complain.
No. Still about a stage ahead for Japezu, which, I mean, it's really... It's not that much if we're talking going in the World 8. So
oh yeah, right now this is anybody's game. And these 2 runners have been close all match. It's going to come down to World 8. So World 4 coming up where we'll have to build the bridge, and I couldn't see what the item was. Too quick. I don't see a panel 7 just yet, so it still could be in play. But there are 2 forts. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And Japezu, good choice on the star because it's the underwater level. Raiko, no trouble there with Wendy. So he'll be moving on. Use a star, get a star.
That's right. Most of the time.
All right. Next up, of course, we're going to want to go to panel 6, which ends up being 3-6.
Now, if you're really feeling like you're super behind and you had a hammer here, you could skip this first fort and see if there was another one tucked away somewhere, but that would be a very extreme situation.
Yeah, that is true. All right, the Hammer Bro is in the way for Japezu, and good thing he has that fire suit. It's Fire Bro's underwater. Meanwhile, Raiko in trouble. Ooh, there's a hammer.
Yep.
Now it's decision time.
Yep.
Well, and this is the last chance to use the hammer as well, as we now have one of the betas, 1.5 beta. No power-ups, but the enemy set is tame, so as long as you take it carefully, it's not that bad, but, you know, these runners are speed runners here. They're going to be trying to go as quick as possible.
Right.
Having a fire flower will really help you out. Loses it right at the end, but otherwise, no problem there for Japezu.
Yep, speed over efficiency at this point. I mean, you got to go fast.
All right, Raiko does dodge the 5-up this time around with the number of lives he has now. That's, yeah, good idea there. Japezu is going to play the donut fort 4F2, and usually when you see 4F2, 4F1 follows, but we'll see.
Yep, if you gotta play a level, that play I was just talking about, you're probably not gonna see, but I mean, you never know what Raikou's thinking.
That is true. Well, we're about to find out. If it breaks the lock, we know that we have to play that second fort. Otherwise, Japezu is ready to go. Raiko now in 1.5 beta. And we're going to take a look here and see. Yes, sir.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
So, yeah, if Raiko is thinking about taking a crazy gamble here, it could be a fatal one. So now we have the World 5 airship before we head on to World 8 and the goofy hitbox of Iggy Koopa. Hey, Raiko's not going to do anything crazy either, but it's just a one-hit wonder. Japezu moving on to World 8. So, people in chat, it is that time again. Make your prediction of how many bridges it will take to build the path to Bowser's Castle. And I'll tell you what, that Boo Diddley was making things miserable for Raiko. And nice jump over the hot foots as well. That was a really, really solidly played donut fort for Raiko.
I'm going to say 4 forts. I'm one of 2 people that I know that have actually seen 4 forts.
Bridges. 4 bridges. So, you mean 4 bridges?
Yeah, 4 bridges. So I know it's definitely possible. So let's see it one time.
Yeah, I'd love to see it during. Well, you can scratch that idea.
Yep. It's always disappointing.
Yeah, especially when you see it up front like that. Yes, but one of these days in tournament play, we're gonna have it happen, and and their aunts and uncles will be clipping it.
Yep, we were a 50-50 away from reverse world order the other day, and
really?
That I'd never seen. It came down to the
so we went 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and then it was 1, 2.
Yeah.
You hate to see it, and it's not 3 bridges either because there's a second lock. Now, there's another thing that could make this World 8 the great equalizer. Japezu got grabbed by the hand, luckily for him only one time. If Raiko can get by without getting grabbed, that's more time he can save.
Yep, this is where the RNG really takes over, so...
Yep, that last item was a mushroom. Raiko does not get grabbed by the hand.
Nice. This is going to be tight.
Oh, I know. They are 1 fort behind each other. That's how close this is right now. It could come down to Bowser.
Okay,
and,
definitely.
Yep, and there is another meal on the board for Boss Bass, so 1 apiece.
Yep, doesn't have to worry about going back over that hand stage. Didn't play the Air Force though. I am also noticing a lot of no bridge World 8s lately as well. So
yeah, could be. By the way, we've got 6F1. I'm waiting for that dream where we have all World 6 forts bunched in World 8. And we have not seen the other 2 World 6 forts either.
Right, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that today.
Well, probably won't because I'm guessing they'll have solved the puzzle before we see all 4 forts because the game knows.
Yeah.
All right, take a look here, and I don't see any locks broken, so that either broke a lock up front or it built a bridge. Well, that ended up being a troll pipe.
Broke that lock right here.
Ooh, yeah, that's a big lock potentially here. Let's take a look. No bridges!
Wow.
So there you have it. Japezu is in the catbird seat and is poised to take a 1-0 lead in this semifinal match.
Yep. I noticed Japezu has a cloud. If Raikou had one, he could have clouded this fort, but Looks like it's going to be just a little too late for Raikou, unfortunately. Nobody has a hammer suit either.
Well, it's not over until it's over. I mean, Japezu could lose this fire suit, and Raikou... Oh, but the mac and cheese! Nice job there from Japezu.
Very nice.
So he needs 35 fireballs to finish the job and lock up game number 1 as Raikou does get his fire suit here in 6F1. Here's Bowser. Loses it immediately, though. Got too close to his grill.
Yeah, he lost his fire suit, but he's in good position to still take out Bowser, so...
Yeah, I mean, even if Raikou was to get there with the fire suit, it's going to be too late unless Japezu takes a death. One more ground pound, and that will lock it up for Japezu in game number 1. Here's Raikou and Bowser's castle. But unfortunately for Raikou, the time is up. Japezu is going to claim game number 1. Get your GGs out.
Yep, GG to Japezu and Raikou as well for making it very close.
Most certainly. This was close the entire match. You'll love seeing these very close games here. And...
he's going to end up winning by about the time of World 8 Fort. So, I mean, that one decision...
yeah, it's hard to believe that one decision ended up being the difference in this entire match. Raikou unfortunately lost his fire suit, which tends to happen more often than not in that little passageway. So he too is going to have to do it traditionally. And he's going to have to be very careful now.
Yeah, all things considered, Sounder fan in chat, was a pretty linear World 8, so not too bad at all.
Oop. Ran into the fireball.
I've seen Raikou do this before. I'm not sure why he doesn't do the hitbox trick.
Maybe he doesn't trust it. I know. I'm kind of with Raikou as well. I know when I play this game, I don't trust it either. Even though I've been in commentary so long, it's like I don't trust it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it can look like you're in perfect position, but if you're just a little bit too far forward, you can get hit by those fireballs.
Yes, you can. That's why I always say in the commentary, you got to be careful that you're not in the line of fire. So Raikou is again taking the same path. He knows what to expect, so I would imagine he may get past it the second time. He's got to watch out for that one.
Oh,
yeah, he forgot about that one.
That room's been reduced to 4 fireballs, but still, they can really appear in bad places.
Oh, did Fred change that in the recent update?
Yeah, so the number of fireballs is no longer random. It's always going to be 4, but the placement can be random, and a lot of times that last one will come even after the last jump, like near the door, so you think you're clear.
And that's exactly what happened on Raikou. We were just talking about it. He lost his power because he was in the line of fire.
Yep.
But this time he gets through it, so get your GGs out for RaikouRider. Competitive racer game number 1.
Yep. I mean, the time definitely does not reflect how close this one was. I mean, Raikou took a death on Bowser, so that's like a minute and a half gone right there. So very, very competitive race we had here.
Here were the official times. Japezu was your winner. Official race time GG score, 34 minutes and 19 seconds. Raikou's time was 36 minutes and 59 seconds. But these two were close literally the entire game. And I expect to see the same thing in game number 2, DLP.
Oh, yeah. Yep. They very similar skill set, it looks like, from these two. And other than the decision and playing the 8 fort, I mean, we would have came down to the wire. So got another good one coming up here. might be able to see 3 games even. It's very, very possible given these two skill sets. So.
All righty, absolutely. So with that, we're going to take time out here as our runners get set up for game number 2. And Japezu, if he wins this, will be moving on to the grand championship of the Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer Challenge Cup. We'll have game number 2 right here on Speed Gaming in just a moment. Don't go away. All right, welcome back to game number 2 of the semifinals between Japezu and RaikouRider here in the Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer Challenge Cup. Alongside DLP316, I'm LOZ Cards Fan 23. Very close and competitive match in game number 1, but it literally came down to a decision that was made early on in World 5.
Yep, Raikou went and played the fort right away. I don't know if he wanted to keep his power up before doing some exploring. Little did he know there was the fort on the bottom that broke the lock. But this flag set, hammers do break locks, so even if somebody makes a wrong decision, they can still be bailed out by a lucky hammer item.
Almost certainly indeed. Yep, so that's the difference. So we do have the Group 2 flag set. Again, still no end card game, but hammers this time will break locks. So resource management is going to be key here in game number 2. And this is a must-win for RaikouRider.
Yeah, I think this this flag set, Raikou chose selected this flag set, so I think this is definitely suitable to him. You want to play more Hammer Brothers in this case, just on the off chance that you get a cloud that can say 4, 5, 6 levels sometimes. So you definitely want to play more Hammer Brothers than just the straight up bracket flags.
Yep, certainly. So people in chat, what is our first world going to be?
7.
There is 3. So right away, and panel number 10, so we now know that is the only fort. Now, is this a free world 3? Nope, I see no lock. That fort's gonna have to be played, unless somehow that lock is on Prize Island.
There's a bridge out down there by the fort panel, so that.
Oh, okay, there.
So already you're gonna have to make some decisions about. You could go right for those 2 pipes over there on the right. Odds are they're going to loop, but you never know. They didn't last time, so.
That fort's still going to be somehow required. Oh, Japezu shorts it in 6-2. That's going to give Raikou a chance to take an early lead. That's the one disadvantage of not having an auto-scroller in 6-2. By the way, auto-scrollers are turned off with 3 exceptions. I did not mention that in game number 1. In my opinion, I think 6-2 is probably the most difficult level where the auto-scrollers are turned off, if you want my honest opinion.
Yeah, for sure. I actually think this might be better routed to go the other way, because the pipe that's there is going to take you to the fort, and if that pipe takes you to the end, you got a free pass, so. It's hard to tell when you're running. Obviously, what the best path is going to be, but that's probably the way that I would go. I think.
All right, so 6-2 is complete. Next up is 5-2. for Raikou. So the 3 exceptions where the auto scrollers are not turned off, but we didn't see any of those situations in game number 1. Number 1 is if 5-9, the diagonal auto scroller shows up. Number 2, the level that we affectionately like to call Atlantis, one of the 9 beta levels. And number 3 are the coin heavens. You may see runners take that coin heaven in 3-7 where they get an item at the end.
Yeah, 3-7 and 1-3 are items that I tend to go for early in the race, worlds 1 through 4 or 5 or so, but since hammers break locks, I might go for it even a little later here.
Now, interesting strategy here. Raikou is playing the Navy level, thinks that the bridge might be required as a shortcut. Again, wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, it's going to be really disappointing if they play this and take this pipe and it doesn't take them to the end because they're gonna have to go all the way back and play a couple more levels.
And Japezu, ooh, he's gonna do the check.
All right.
Looks like it's required. See that panel 4 with the pipe?
Yep. So you would have broke even if you went the way that I mentioned earlier, but the levels that they played weren't too bad, so you have no idea what you're getting if you play that 8 and 5 panel over there.
Yep, even when you don't think the fort's required, it never fails. I told you that in game number 1 DLP, as we have our 6-2 beta, the Iceberg. Japezu is going to go into the Toad House to pick up an item. Not bad, a Tanuki suit. Uh-oh, and there's the aforementioned Atlantis. All I had to do was talk about a DLP, and the situation presents itself, and it's required because we have no Jugum Cloud.
Yep, no opportunity for a cloud, unfortunately. It's one of those levels that it is long, but if I'm playing it early and I know that my opponent, like, it's forced, then it's really not bad. I kind of like it, actually. It's a pretty fun level, all things considered.
Yeah, you do have to watch out for those yellow cheap though, so you never want to take the middle path at that spot, or you're going to get picked off each and every time unless you've got a fire suit. And the other thing you have to be careful of is when the pipe shows up, you don't want to go into it too quickly, otherwise you're dead.
Right. Never had that personally happen to me, but I've definitely seen it happen to several people.
Yep, and it would be very fail because you're talking over a minute's worth of time loss if that happens. Ooh, Raikou cutting it in there. All right. Uh-oh.
Always
oh my goodness,
blooper.
oh my goodness! No, and Raikou gets picked off right at the end of Atlantis.
That's unfortunate.
That's very unfortunate, and that gives Japezu the lead back.
I was just about to say this enemy at the end is always a tricky blooper, and sure enough.
Man, you really hate to see that, especially in a game that Raikou absolutely has to have. And I mean, he could have easily had a minute and a half lead going into the airship. Now it's Japezu who's going to have about a 30-some second lead.
Raikou using a P-Wing, you can fly over the entire level until right before the end. You do have to come down into the water, otherwise you'll soft lock, but
look at that. Of course the nanny blooper leaves Japezu alone. The game knows, it's got money on Japezu. I don't know. I mean, it's early, I mean, granted, but this is probably not the start that Raikou envisioned. He probably has to feel he's behind. And it again takes Raikou off. I'm telling you, that blooper has it in for Raikou.
Yep, and any time that I take a death at the end of Atlantis, that's pretty much gamble time after that.
All right, but here's Wendy. Oh, misses her completely and loses the Tanuki suit. There will be no... Oh, he's in trouble. That's 3. Oh, she popped up. 4 hitters, a couple of Baconators for Wendy, but Japezu clutches it out.
Yep, very nice. That's a pretty long first World 3.
Well, this is crucial for Raiko. He cannot afford to take a death here. All right, 2. And, oh, he's in trouble. He's in trouble.
Oh, wow.
How in the world did Raiko dodge all of that mess? That was unbelievable. He needed that.
Yeah, someone needs to clip that. That was probably the very last part of her hitbox that he
oh my god,
and not take damage.
Wow. Boy, my heart is pounding. I felt that one.
Well, here's the 6th fort that we wanted in World 8 last time.
Yep, somebody will have to play that last seed to find out where the heck they were. But yep, this is 6F2, the Ice Fort. In my opinion, the most difficult boom boom fight of the game, unless you do that strat. There you go. Not a problem there for Japezu, but some problems for Raiko losing that Tanuki. Oh, gonna gamble here, and I don't blame him. He's doing the double. Oh, you love to see the gambles here. Then gets a star.
Japezu on a hand stage over here, so this is going to be the same item throughout the whole game.
All right, and it will be start just like in game number 1. Is this even randomized? So the blue fort did not break the build the bridge. It broke a lock, and the fort's not required, so they're in good shape.
Yep, could definitely see a 1 fort in the sky at this point, since one of the forts has to build the bridge.
I'm already going to tell you what that fort's going to be. I'm 99% sure DLP this is going to be World 1 fort.
Yeah. All right, let's see it.
Well, let's see it maybe. There's no guarantee.
Right.
Everybody's favorite hammer brother, one that just says, bye.
Yeah.
It's not required, so we're never going to find out. But I'm like I said, I think it's a 99% chance that's World 1 fort.
Still haven't seen any hammers yet.
Nope. We have now the pyramid.
It's a good item for Japezu to use. You don't have to wait for any of the beetles there. You can just fly right through and use the tail to break the locks.
And this is where Raiko now in trouble, losing the power up there. Luckily, that's not a star, because if that's a star, that's a time loss right there. And the sledgehammer bro at the end. And now Raiko's going to be in trouble when he gets to the end. Well, he is going to be in big trouble because it's very tough to dodge sledgehammer bros. I don't care how good you are at this game.
Yeah, Sledge Brother's definitely the worst one that you can find there. The vanilla hammer brother jumps every single time, so you just have to walk underneath. And then the boomerang and the fire, you can just jump over.
Oh, Raiko took a chance there, and he guessed right. It did not jump and bro tumbo him. So Japezu, by the way, that was the waterfall level. Got through that no problem, of course. So it's a full 1 level lead as we have the World 7 airship.
Yep, Japezu has a tail, so he's just able to float over the entire airship. Loses a little bit of time versus P-speed strats, but it's definitely safer, so...
Having a tail goes a long way in this level because there are some difficult, nasty jumps on that airship. And Roy was definitely not our boy this time around, just a one-hit wonder.
A lot of weak Koopalings today.
Yeah, there have been. You're right about that. And Raiko goes, opts for the tail also here. All right, Raiko makes it to Roy and does get the 1 hit on him as we have now World 7. Let's see where this pipe takes him. Now, there's a panel 10, so that means this is the only fort. Opting not to play it, I'm a little bit surprised, but then again, you see that there's a lock there, so there's not going to be a lock at the end, but oh, here comes the test of clipping 7-6.
Pretty sure he has a P-wing still, so yeah, if it were me, I would just take the sure way.
And that's exactly what he's going to do.
Just don't accidentally kill the enemies here.
Because otherwise 7-6 is kind of a long level, although there are plenty of worse enemy sets than the one that we're dealing with. Yeah, Japezu can use the P-Wing to fly over 7-6. Can't do that in 7-1, though. As Raikou's now in 4-2 with Boss Bass. Show me the glitched out Boss Bass, please. There it is.
Big old Goomba.
Yep, it is not a validated seed if that Boss Bass does not turn into that giant Goomba.
Alright, so Japezu made a wise, well, still had to play a level either way, so they're basically even at this point.
Yeah, now Raikou is going to see that same lock that Japezu just saw. And Japezu going to play that fort. Oh, it's Piranha Fort 7F2. Oh, dear. Raikou is hoping to have no part of it, but looks like it's required. And Japezu in some trouble does get a fire suit. That could help. Now, if you don't have a tail or a fire suit in this level, this can be really, really nasty. But Japezu gets through it, no problem.
Yeah, it's one of those forts that seeing a star for that first power-up is actually, it's pretty helpful because you can ride it all the way through this this tunnel here, which is basically the most problematic part. And
that's what you want to see in that tunnel of love, one of each. That's the easiest path because you can easily just time it.
Mm-hmm.
If you see the two piranhas or the two fire piranhas, you're probably taking damage if you don't have the right projectiles.
Raikou trying to go through this damage list. Pretty
nice,
difficult.
and he does. Meanwhile, Japezu found the pipe with the view, the dead-end pipe. So that's not what he wanted. And Raikou gets through 7F2 damageless. Very nicely done there for Raikou. Still have not found the pipe, and Japezu is going to play the Piranha stage and get an item out of it. He's open for a hammer. Oh, Japezu didn't quite get enough on that jump. Loses his power-up, but does make it, so no problem there for Japezu, and picks up a music box. Well, it could come in handy at the end if he decides to want to use that. Takes the pipe to the left, and that's the way out. So, good idea.
Yep, he immediately left. There is another pipe on that final island, so if Raikou goes up here, he could save a little bit of time by not playing the piranha, but it'll probably go to the Toad House. Yeah, the Toad House that gets no business. No, he found the way out too, so that's a time saver. Yep.
All right, so Raikou gaining a little bit of time on Japezu, only missing out on that music box. Japezu decided to use the music box right there.
Yeah, this is kind of big here, because if Raikou plays this and it's something valuable, that's something he's going to have that Japezu's not going to have. Yeah, if it's a Jugum or a hammer or a Hammer Bro suit, unfortunately Ludwig, but it's just a two-hitter, and Raikou is going to play this level. This could be huge, or this could be huge for Japezu if it's a bust. Right. I mean, we already saw Atlantis, but personally, I would rather play Atlantis over 7-5. I can't stand. Oh, look at this! It's a hammer! That's the break he needed right there. That could be the game changer right there for Raikou. Now it's all about using it wisely. If he does, he could have a chance. But we still have about half of this game left to go, and we have World 4 in World 4 spot and 2 forts. The Donut Fort, 4F2. Will this be the one that breaks the bridge? Usually, when there is a fort next to start and there's 2 forts, it doesn't build the bridge. Let's see if that happens again. Then again, last seed, 4F2 was the gatekeeper,
Maybe it'll be the gatekeeper again.
Yeah. No real opportunity for Raikou to use the hammer in World 4, which is pretty common. Even when hammers break locks, it's not usually very useful in World 4.
All right, and
you always
sure
have to
enough,
do a bridge.
Whenever there are 2 forts in World 4, the fort closest to the start never builds the bridge, and this is not an exception either. Well, it's pretty much pick a level, and 6-5.
Yeah, kind of a deceptively long level. You take this pipe and it takes you right towards the end, so you think it's not that long, but when you see this way compared to the runners that clip, you can see exactly how much longer it is, especially with enemies like this.
Yeah, Japezu in some trouble. Yeah, if Raikou opts to take the other level, he may gain an advantage because Japezu is struggling here in 6-5, losing that tail because of this enemy set. Got 2 Paragoombas. Yeah, no fun.
Yep.
Oh, somehow, some way gets by. Very nice. And they're still out for blood.
Yeah.
Even when you've done the hard part, they still want blood. Oh, and Raikou's stun locked. And picked off by the hammer in the process. Yikes. Now, let's see if he's going to... Yeah, he's still going to do panel 1. So he's going to have that same 6-5 to deal with. I'd be curious to what that other level is.
Yep. It's going to get full power-ups here, but it is going to take him a little bit longer to do because he has to get all 3 power-ups.
And he does not know about the double kamikaze Paragoombas awaiting him either.
Right.
I'd be surprised if he gets through without losing that power-up. He's going to try to take him down with the ice block. Yep. And still loses the power because the first one decided, not in my house. Ho, ho, ho.
Yep, when there's a bunch of lag, those ice blocks tend to go through enemies, so you really have to just get rid of them as soon as possible.
Tried that, and yep, that, like I said, well, one of them goes down, and the other one's like, you know what? I'm going to stick around, and I'm going to make your life miserable here. Oh, a Jugum Cloud pickup for Japezu. Raikou does take them both down, so you shouldn't have to worry about it. But that Jugum Cloud, if Raikou doesn't get it, you know, could be a difference maker here, and a P-Wing now for Japezu.
Yep, Japezu is up 1 cloud as it stands, and Raikou's up 1 hammer, so we'll see which one... And Raikou still has the opportunity to get that cloud, so...
We had another beta level, this time the 7-3 beta, which actually does have a coin heaven, but it's particularly nasty to get to, and obviously is not a viable play in a race, but I've actually been up it once.
Oh, does it have an item at the end, or is it just the
No, it's like the ones that are in 1-1 or 1-3, or not 1-1, 1-3 and 1-5 in vanilla, except the sky is sunset instead of blue.
Oh, interesting. I've never seen that before.
Well, no one ever takes it, so the only way you'd see it, you'd have to play for it yourself. 6F1, the escalator fort, but Japezu's struggling a little bit, but does get by the disco waffles.
Gonna get the first bro of the match here.
Yep, get your bros out in chat as Raikou now playing 3-2. Now, opted to skip the coin ship, which Japezu did play. All right, so we now have the World 1 airship with Iggy Koopa. Nice dodge there by Raikou. Gets by 3-2. And just a one-hitter quitter for Iggy. No problem.
Another weak one.
Yeah, Bowser not feeding his kids. You hate to see it. Now Raikou, let's see if this ends up being the Jugum Cloud for Raikou, and it is.
All right. So he's behind a fort and an airship, but he does have a hammer up on Japezu, so that can definitely swing this race. It's not over, not even close to being over.
Oh no, we still have World 2 and World 6 left to go, and they could both be great equalizers. But there's an anchor, which is a wild card. However, it cannot be a hammer, of course, nor could it be a warp whistle.
There's a great opportunity here to use a hammer too, since the pipes are right in the beginning and they link to each other, so Raikou can save like 3 levels here if he uses his hammer, and Japezu doesn't have one, so...
Absolutely here. Alright, Raikou has built the bridge, and he'll be moving on to that World 1 airship. $6.10. Oh, misses that fire chomp and is in trouble.
Oh, look out.
Oh, yeah, this is getting a little bit dicey. With that Paragoomba still at large, but we'll get this mushroom. This is a level I'd always want to have fire suit in as a kid. I could never do it. I'd always get hit.
Yeah.
All right, Japezu does get through 6.10. Now, Raikou getting about 2 levels back. This fort and that quicksand level, so 5F2 up next. Well, Japezu does have a hammer.
Huh. I didn't think he had one.
Well, he did. I didn't see where he picked it up. Maybe it was from the princess?
Yeah, so this last princess letter gave him an anchor, which can be anything besides a hammer or a warp whistle, which we don't play with. So that's another opportunity for a cloud or a hammer suit is really what you're looking for out of that.
Because I'm pretty sure Japezu skipped that hammer that was in World 7.
Yeah, so Raikou must have 2.
Well, we'll find out. But if he doesn't have 2, then Japezu must have gotten it from a hammer brother, and we just missed it. Now, Raikou having that same problem with that fire chomp and that Paragoom, and that's the thing about these fire chomps. They do respawn.
Yep.
It's the worst enemy, and one of the worst enemies in the game. I don't think it's the worst, but it's up there.
Well, that snake just decided to phase through the floor there, so that helped him out a lot.
Boy, it certainly did, didn't it? All right, up to panel number 3, and it's a second-hand stage. This one is the cheap, so we've seen all 3 today, and this will have another star for Japezu.
Got hit, but was somehow able to manage to keep flight, so he got to fly over that tricky spot.
Okay, so he did get a second hammer, did Raikou, so it must have been from the princess and we just missed it. Or they played a Hammer Brothers stage and we missed it. So Raikou's still up 1 hammer. I mean, that's what happens when we see the letter of the princess and it goes by too quickly before we can see that flashing item that's on the bottom right. Raikou in some trouble here in World 2 Fort.
Right. And, I mean, start to run out of places to use it, too. I mean, we do have 2 worlds left, but, I mean, there's a chance that it's not useful, so...
Yep, again, hammers also break locks, so keep that in mind. And Raikou opted not to use it here, which, I don't blame him, it's ended up being an easy level anyway. All right, Morton time. Well, 2 hits is not enough. And he was back on the regular sodium diet. 3-hit Morton. So Raikou is this hand stage, and he is also a fort, or an airship, behind Japezu. But again, still has a hammer. No!
Hesitated for just a second, and that was enough for the...
Yeah, and Raikou cannot afford to be taking these 100-coin fines here. He is already trailing here, and he's trailing 1-0 in this match. If he loses, he is out of the running for the championship. He would be sent down to the bronze medal. Again, Too quick. Can't see what it is. 2 forts. One of them has to be. And this
is a hammer.
This is the play for the hammer right here. You are right. This is where we could see Raiko swing this race.
Yeah, he's gonna cloud and then hammer for sure, I would say.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if he didn't. Whoa, nice jump there from Japezu here in 2-4 against that sledgehammer, bro. All right, Raiko gets the tail. Should be pretty straightforward finish here. Again, 3-hitter. And, I mean, he may have to play both forts, Japezu.
Right.
That'll be best case scenario. Oh, but Raiko just got hitboxed by Morton. He's in trouble. And he needs it. He did it. Twice he's been lucky that he did not lose his life at the end. Holy Moses.
Between that and that Wendy fight, Raiko was making
it was a 5-hitter and I was miscounting. Well, then he had maximum sodium. Okay. Oh, but it does break the lock for Japezu, so he's going to keep his lead.
Yep, unless Raikou clouds here.
He's not going to use his hammer? I don't like this play at all, DLP.
Yeah,
obviously,
I don't either.
Obviously, I guess he wants to save it for World 6, but I do not like this play.
Right, could definitely end up benefiting him way more in World 6, but I think when you can save 2 levels that include a fort, I think you have to use it here.
Oh, and Japezu, though, does get swallowed up by Boss Bass, so that's 3 meals that we have seen so far.
He's probably going to cloud if he has one, or tail maybe. Yeah, there you go.
He'll go for the tail. Wants to save that cloud for maybe a better level. But yeah, I am shocked at this play. But, I mean, maybe there's a better play to be had in World 6. But the odds are against it. I'm telling you, DLP.
Yeah. I don't think he forgot that hammers broke locks dust just because in the chat, I mean, this is his flag set that he picked, and he even said that they break locks, so I think he's just saving it for World 6.
I mean, he might be, or maybe he's saving it for World 8.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
This
also
could be
possible.
a hammer here, too.
If this is a hammer for Japezu. And it is! You called it. All you had to do is talk about it. And once again, the situation presents itself. So now Japezu's going to have, remember, Raiko's going to have 2.
Yep, it's almost like I've played this before.
Well, to my knowledge, Mario 3 Randomizer does not have spoiler logs yet.
Right.
I'm waiting for the time where
mean,
it does.
Yeah, I mean, Raiko's basically his advantage, unless a hammer plays out in 8, is kind of voided at this point, because the big skip is going to be that first rock, or maybe even a lock at the end, and Japezu's going to have a hammer for it, so.
All right, Larry down on Japezu, had the earthquake. Looked like it was a 3-hitter. I hope I counted right this time, because last time, evidently, I didn't, but there you go.
I find out that, or I tend to find that in World 8, using hammers when hammers break locks, it's often a detriment, honestly.
Now, Raiko opted to use the Jugumon 7-2.
All right.
So, that's Raiko's play right there.
Yeah. I mean, I tend to use a hammer, it breaks a lock, and then I don't know if fort broke the lock or not, so then you're...
Well, our anchor turned out to be a Tanuki Suits. 2 forts here so far in World 6. And I'm going to play 3F1.
This is setting up, it looks like, to be a decently favorable, as long as all the pipes aren't in the beginning. Because if this pipe loops behind the lock, then the other one should take you further in the level, so could be a free World 6.
Yes, Japezu takes care of the Boom Boom in 3F1. Raiko takes care of Larry. And that did not break the lock, so it either broke a lock elsewhere or it built a bridge elsewhere. And Japezu's getting the parade.
Japezu has 2 clouds as well.
Resource management and another hammer. Well, any advantage that Raikou might have had is probably going by the wayside here.
Yep.
Well, it's a troll pipe.
Yep, big play. Oh, they're good. They're free.
Yeah.
Raikou's caught up though.
This is true. They are neck and neck, and they're both taking panel 9.
No, cloud it, Japezu. You already saw 2 locks.
Yeah, and Raikou didn't cloud it either, so both of these runners are playing the 1-6 beta, which again, a nasty level. So yeah, right now it's anybody's game, but this is a must-win for Raikou. If Japezu wins this, he's moving on to the championship. And Japezu is the first one done with 1-6 beta, but Raikou is right there. All right, the World 6 airship, and Raikou's going to use the P-Wing.
Yep. He's going to save some time here.
He's going to take the lead. That's huge. I mean, right now, every second counts because we're going to be going into World 8, literally dead even pending this Lemmy fight. And this time he bulked up a little at least. 3-hitter.
See if he gets the off-screen.
He does!
Nice. Wow. Raikou's
very nice. And Japezu's struggling with the fight. So Raikou is got a true lead. Down goes Lemmy for Japezu. But people in chat, one more time, it's time to predict how many bridges it will take to build the path to Bowser's Castle.
0.
You think 0 again?
Yep.
I think 1. 1 bridge. Raikou's going to see it immediately. And now it's pretty much a game of pick a fort. Well, 4 is still in play.
Wow.
4 F1. Hey, they didn't pair up again. So again, maybe Fred, you were alluding to this earlier, maybe Fred kind of fixed that, as it were.
Yeah, I mean, it really does seem that way.
Now, Japezu, which path is he going to take? He's also going to take the bottom path. I was going to say, if he took the top path, he could have retaken the lead, potentially. But it's always dangerous to take that top path. But it's one of those to each their own situations, DLP.
Yeah, you definitely want to check this first tank. If it's the fort, you just play it. If not, then it's decision time about. And
it's 3-3. And Raikou looks like he's going to play it. I think he's pot committed.
Not the longest level either, too, so it's not too bad.
Oh, but Japezu's going to do a pipe check.
Oh, boy. Japezu's got a hammer.
And he could use it there if he wanted to. Yes. This is going to get interesting. He's built a bridge!
Wow.
Japezu took the gamble, whereas Raikou is conservative, and that move right there could send Japezu to the championship.
Wow, what a call to make.
Oh, once again, Raikou losing a coin flip that he didn't need to lose.
You know, I mean, I definitely would have checked that first tank too. I don't know if I would have played it since it was a level, but I mean, I probably would have done exactly what Raikou's doing, so.
Wow. Unbelievable here. Japezu making all of the right decisions here. Just unbelievable how his routing has been in both games.
Yep.
And Japezu taking bottom path, which you don't see very often, and gets a fire suit. So he might have a chance. Well, he did have a chance, but that statue had something to say about that.
Oof.
That was a good fireball pattern. Well, that was 5 fireballs.
Yeah,
Did you count 5?
Yeah, I counted 5. Maybe Fred didn't fix the bottom path.
Maybe he only fixed the top path.
Yeah. Japezu's got to be careful here.
And Raikou has no fire flowers either. Now, as long as Japezu does not take a 100 coin fine here, this is over. Of course, he could get picked off by the line of fire. Anything could still happen, but right now Japezu controls his fate. One more ground pound, and Japezu is going to the championship.
MIDI guy confirming in chat that the bottom path does have 5 in vanilla. So
Oh, I didn't realize that because we always take top path. But get
Right.
your GGs out for Japezu. He is moving on to the Grand Championship. Another close game here, DLP.
yeah, it was. Raikou had it. He was in the lead, but just the routing in World 8 took over, and I mean, there's not really much you can do about that. I mean,
Yep. My word. I mean, you could look at a lot of different things. Raikou had many chances to win this game. I mean, that death he took at the end of Atlantis, you do the math.
Yep.
Even if he made the wrong decision, World 8 still would have won.
Yeah.
Wow.
Japezu finished with a cloud too. I thought Raikou did too, but I might be mistaken. But that last level in World 6, I mean, I feel like they both could have skipped it as well.
Oh,
But
absolutely here, man. Two outstanding performances by both runners in both races, but Japezu just a little bit better in both.
Yep, Japezu, the new player in the scene this year, going to the championship. So congratulations to them for that. It's very impressive. They look really, really tough to beat.
We'll take a look at the times here. Japezu finishing with a race time GG timer of 36 minutes and 31 seconds. RaikouRider 37 minutes and 37 seconds, a difference of 66 seconds.
Yep. Let's see if we can get them in for an interview so we can talk about this. Very exciting race. I mean, that second race, Raikou had those 2 Koopaling fights with Wendy, and I forget what the other one was, but they were down to the wire. Wow.
And we do have RaikouRider here in the commentators booth with us. GG, well, you put up a really good fight in both games here, but unfortunately, your opponent Japezu got the best of you both times. But did you realize that you had a lock in World 1 or a hammer in World 1, or you could have used it to skip a lot of that?
It completely spaced because this is the first time that I have done this flag set where it's mattered in so long.
Oh, so it was a matter of habit because you played so many hammers don't break lock situations, and when you do play one where the hammers do break locks, it just bypassed your mind. Because here's what happened. Japezu came into that. In World 7, he music boxed that second Piranha stage. You played it out, and it turned out to be a hammer. And we get to World 1, and there's a lock guarding the end of World 6. And we're thinking to ourselves, because you took that very unfortunate death in Atlantis right at the end. And that's what gave your opponent, Japezu, a lead that turned out he would almost not relinquish the entire time. However, you did manage to take the lead late, and you got into World 8 first by a few seconds. However, you were a little conservative, whereas Japezu hit the Gamblematic 9000, played just the 1 fort, then took the pipe, took him to Bowser's Castle, the bridge was built.
That's SMB3R though, and I knew going into this race that I knew from the beginning, and I mentioned this in SMB3R Discord, I mentioned it in Race Time Chat pregame, and I mentioned it a couple other places as well, that I knew this would be a coin flip. And if anybody was going to stop me in this Challenge Cup, it was going to be Japezu. He is so good. Whose group was he in? Because he's so talented.
Oh, he must have been in like a group of death. I'll have to check back.
Because, and speaking of that Atlantis laws, I have to say, that may be the nastiest Atlantis I've ever seen. It was early enough that you didn't really have power-ups for it. Both of the power-up blocks in stage were stars, which are absolutely worthless. And that mama blooper right at the end was just so awful. And I knew that as soon as I took that death, that this race was most likely irrecoverable.
Well, you still actually had a chance.
Yeah, you came back and took the lead going into World 8. You had some very, very exciting Koopaling fights. The one against Wendy, that was...
Oh my god. When I did that fight, I just said, how the F am I alive?
Yeah. That's
Twice.
What I was saying.
More than 2.
Yeah, more...
Japezu was with Paradox 64 and glutamic acid and antlers. And Japezu actually had the same record, but lost the tiebreak.
Yeah, that's a heck of a group.
Yeah, that's a group of death if I've ever seen one. I mean, Japezu, I'm telling you, he's going to be someone to watch out for next year in the main tournament.
Exactly, and really anybody who makes top 4 in Challenge Cup, you can't sleep on them for main tournament. You just can't.
I was saying that before the race. It's like you two could have easily been in brackets and made a splash in brackets. It was just, a matter of the grouping and stuff, and you guys put on a heck of a show for sure.
And the competition just gets tougher every year.
Mm-hmm.
Just everybody is so good. And really, both of these seeds were not easy.
No, they most certainly weren't.
Yep, every year there's a couple new people that just come out of nowhere. Japezu, Bagler. I mean, he does vanilla. Adam Ferrari. A lot of good players that came out that haven't played before. So definitely encourage that to keep happening.
If I recall, Japezu's quite good at vanilla as well.
Well, being good at vanilla does give you some kind of upper leg here. I mean, the enemy set notwithstanding, but if you know the route, when to take piece speed, where exactly to take piece speed, I mean, that it definitely does help if you run the game. I think Mario 3 is one of those games where actually running the vanilla game does help. I know Zelda Randomizer, you really can't say the same thing about vanilla players in that, but in the vanilla, I think knowing how to play the game, the vanilla levels in Mario 3 helps into the randomizer.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish I could have played in the Z1R tournament this year. It was just a matter of time.
Yeah, understandable. I did send an invite to Japezu, but hasn't accepted it yet.
I cannot wait to watch this back. Apparently, just both of these races were absolute fire back and forth.
Yep, they were neck and neck. Great watch for sure.
But I just wanted to tell him. But hopefully we get to have words with him, because just if anybody was gonna take the crown from me, it was him.
All right, Japezu has declined an interview, so that is unfortunate, but totally understandable.
All right, well, thanks for having me. I am looking forward to the bronze match. I will take a spot on the podium this year, at least. Hopefully.
Yep, it depends on what happens between Sharkit and Craig SMB3. You will take on the loser of that particular semifinal.
Both of those two are so good.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, again, let's take a look. Let's take a look at how they did in group play on the main tournament here. Sharkid. Or was Sharkid not in the main tournament? No, she had to be in the main tournament.
She had a win over Stewie, I think.
Yeah, she did.
I mean, that's a tough player to beat.
Yeah, Sharkid was also just unfortunate, was in the same bracket as Stewie and Europsilis, finished also 3-3, so just short of the brackets too.
Yeah, that's a group you're just not getting out of.
And Craig SMB3, well, he was also in a group of death. Pro A007 and the Classic 188, yeah.
No,
just in a bad group, unfortunately. I mean, those are two established runners. They were just in groups of deaths, as it were.
Yeah, my group wasn't horrible. Just I did not play well in group stage at all. But in this bracket stage, I have just been lights out the entire time. And like I said at the beginning, I knew this would come down to a case of both of us are really good. Both of the races are going to be close. It's just going to come down to one coin flip going the correct way. And
in game one. Yeah, in game one, that's exactly what happened. You did a coin flip in World 5, whereas you played the fort at the sky portion of World 5, and Japezu, when he saw it, just went back to play the other one, and it turned out his decision was correct. So that ended up being an extra fort, and that actually ended up being the difference until, Bowser's Castle when you took that death. But at that point, the race was already over.
that was partially because of that.
Yeah.
When I saw that.
Yeah, when you saw, I mean, and you can't fault you for making that decision. You see that the fort's right there. It's like, you know what? Let's just see if it breaks the lock. But Japezu hit the gamble button, went back instead of playing that fort, ended up guessing right, took a lead he would never relinquish.
Yep. That's SMB3R though.
Yep. But yeah, game number 2, yeah, there were definitely a couple opportunities you had that you could have flipped the script and forced that game number 3. Just didn't happen today.
And like I said, that's the game. Thanks for casting. It's always a pleasure to listen to you. You're one of the best in the business.
I appreciate that very much. And,
Yes.
we haven't done commentary together in a while. And I know there aren't many matches left to go, but next year we got to make it a point that we do some comms together.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've just been a lot busier this year than I have been
Same
the last
with me.
couple of years, which is why it's been difficult. But if you need me to cover for like a Z1R or a SMB3R, just DM me. My DMs are open.
Sounds good. Yeah, and I've been busy as well this month of July too, so I've not been able to do as many commentary as I would like to, but here I am today. So hey, great performance. I mean, you took Japezu to the limit in both games. Just didn't work out for you, but hey, you still got one more match to go, and you're gonna get that 3rd place.
Yep, I'm coming for you.
All right. Any other questions you got, DLP, for Raiko?
Nope, that's it for me.
All right, have a good one.
All right, thanks for participating in there. And again, please make sure you give both of our runners, Japezu and RaikouRider, a follow. Both of them did a tremendous job. And Japezu, outstanding performance. I mean, I think we're going to see Japezu make a lot of noise in next year's main tournament. Just up-and-coming runner here. I mean, he's already proven some good things. Just a little bit of bad luck prevented him from making it to the bracket stages. To me, I think we're going to see him in the bracket stages next year. And heck, he might win the whole thing in this Challenge Cup. But he'll have to take on either Craig SMB3 or Sharkid, and we'll determine who is going to be in the championship to join Japezu.
Yeah, you can just tell in his movement that he's definitely got skill from playing vanilla and everything, and just look forward to all these new players. Hope they stick with it in the off season, and yeah, that's all I got. Get us out of here, Laz.
Absolutely. Before I do, I will tell you that match that I am talking about, Craig versus Sharkid, is going to be happening tomorrow afternoon on SpeedGaming. I don't know which SpeedGaming network just yet. You're going to have to look at the schedule. But tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, we have Craig versus Sharkid with High Flyer 28 and Sinister Stama on the commentary for that race. It should be a very exciting one. So with that is going to draw our coverage to the Mario Brothers 3 Randomizer Challenge Cup to a close. Again, please make sure you give both of our runners, Japezu and RaikouRider, a follow. And of course, my commentator partner, DLP316, an established Mario 3 Randomizer runner in his own right. With that, for everybody here on SpeedGaming, for DLP316, I'm LOZ Cards Fan 23. Have a great weekend, and we will see you again tomorrow afternoon for the second of our semifinals. You won't want to miss it. Have a good day, everybody.